To enable the Cube.dev REST endpoints in your Cube.dev cloud, go to your playground. In my sample here, I am using a default database that's provided as a trial user. It has 6 cubes. Those are locked, so I can't access them publicly, but there are a couple views. One of them is available to me publicly. So what I can do is select the dimensions and measures from this cube, all the fields that I want, go to the REST API, and this is the query that we need to use in Reveal to get the data from this cube. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy this. And in fact, if we just run the query here and look at the results, this is the data that we should be seeing in Reveal. Now I'm going to go over to Reveal and I have my Node server running and I've modified this slightly. So let me move the terminal down. You'll notice here I have a generate URL function. This has some of the properties for my cube. It has the endpoint, my main endpoint for my REST API. It has exactly the dimensions and measures that I just copied. So for example, if I just go ahead and delete this, I'll paste those guys right back in and there we go. That's what I just pulled in. So I pulled in everything and I'm essentially just stringifying it, encoding it, combining the base URL with the query, which is my base URL here. And then I'm going to return that. Where am I returning this to? Well, in Reveal, the data source provider is where you set the URLs for your endpoints for REST. So in previous examples, you've seen there's a series of endpoints that end up in the data source provider. So through that Reveal lifecycle, we hit the authentication provider. I have my bearer token for Cube. We go and we look at the data source item, at the data source, etc. But ultimately, I'm generating the URL, and that's going to be the source for what I'm returning to the client. What does the client look like? It's very simple. It's just a REST data source. That's it. So now if I right click and I view this in the browser, I'll go plus visualization. There's my Cube.dev data source. What this will return is a bunch of different metadata from Cube. But what I want is this data here. If I do a preview, you'll see that this information here is going to be the same information that we see here. So I can select this data. I'll click load and let's go ahead and create a column chart. I'll do order status. And I want to get a count of orders by status, and that's what I have. So that's how you would set the dimensions and measures from Cube as custom queries for generating visualizations in Reveal.